She royally messed up by what she did. She don't realize it. She don't understand it. That she hurted each and every man and woman by what she's doing. She had HA, she had Outlaws, and another group to attack me, knowing that a lot of folks knows who I am, and they're all well aware. And I think it's kind of funny that you're trying to get a hold of the Indianapolis chapter like you're barking up the wrong tree. See, this is the thing though. She wants to keep it up with me. She wants to keep doing stuff, knowing she was caught sending a hit out on me with James Moon. She keeps claiming she's an Hell Angel when she is not. She was kicked out years ago. This is the thing though. She wants to keep it up and up and up. And last night on a live, I would not let her get a word in because I don't want to hear it anymore. And I was testing her last night to see what she was going to do. I was testing her, and she did exactly what I thought she was going to do. She does not want to talk. All she wants to do is threaten all type of biker groups on me. And then she wants to cry wolf of what she does. And she don't realize all these people that she's socialized with is going to lose their patches, and they're going to be removed and banned and shunned from the biker club. They're going to lose their patches by what they're doing at this time. And the reasons why nobody knows anything about me was because there were reasons to why nobody knows anything about me, is because some of yous tried to get me raped, some of yous tried to get me kidnapped, some of yous tried to do a lot of bad things towards me and try to get me unalived, where Grandpa Storm had to keep me away from everybody, kept me away from any person that was a member for these reasons. And you're showing it by the day. You're showing your butts off like you're doing. And you just willingly helped out a person who is not an HA. You attacked your own kind. And then you want to encourage her that she put a hit out on me recently in April. She unalived Uncle Bear with James Moon. And then she wants to say she don't know a James Moon when she knows exactly what I'm talking about. All these different chapters knows everything of what's going on. Everybody in the biker community knows what Amanda's really up to. And they're going to know that you're threatening the law on me. They're just going to laugh at you, because I laugh at you too, because of what you're doing. They will be banished. A lot of men and women are about to lose their patches by their behaviors. And it doesn't matter, because there was a lot mentioned. There were some HAs, there were some Outlaws, and then there were some other groups that were mentioned that thinks they're funny. But they all hurted themselves last night. And the reasons why they don't know nothing about me is because Grandpa Storm kept it that way for a reason. Because you're showing the example why my family kept me away from the members. You're still doing it till this day. Since I've been a little girl, you've still been doing this towards me. So that's proof right there. And Amanda is trying to cause a war, which a lot of my uncles, my grandpas, my cousins, all the biker clubs know what you're doing, Amanda. They all know what you're doing. You're not a secret of what you're doing. They all know that you unalived my Uncle Bear. They know that you tried to get me unalived in April. They know that you're trying to give out my address. You're trying to give out my location. You keep pestering me, and when I record you, you get mad about it, is because I could prove it and I can back it up that you're not going to stop of what you're doing. You're mad because you want this war to end, and plus you're going after someone's son in the family, and he's not. Now you just told on yourself. Now the family knows who's calling him that, and it's been you the whole entire time. And plus, what's really odd and very strange, how do you know, like, why are you watching that type of stuff of someone doing that? It's like, are you a pervert? Are you a predator? Because you must have been talking about someone else, because I know that you're afraid of going to prison, Amanda. You keep messing with me, and everybody's witnessing it. All the chapters knows what you're doing. And those men and women are about to lose their spots. They're about to be kicked out. Their patches will be taken from them. They're going to be banned and permanently have no contact with. You will have nothing by you messing with me at this time. And I just looked it up. All of yous are admitting of who you are. You're going to lose everything by messing with me. And by you threatening the cops on me, you know for a fact what you're doing. You're out of state and you're messing with me. And you sent someone, because you're in South Carolina, and you sent someone from Texas to come to Indiana. Says a lot right there. And they all know this. They all been watching you, of what you've been doing, what you've been up to, who you've been running towards. And it's kind of funny that you keep false claiming of being HA. You keep false claiming it, knowing you were kicked out years ago. You're false claiming. Still. And you're still on that kick that you think you're going to submission me out of my position. You think you're going to bully me. And you think that anything you do is not going to be private. It's going to be known at this point on. Whatever you do, and I'm involved in my presence, you're done doing stuff behind the bikers' backs. You're going to be known of what you're doing. You're done hiding it from the biker community's backs. You're done hiding of what you're doing towards me. That's why you told me, don't record. Is because you want me to suffer. You want me to take all these threats from different three clubs that you're doing towards me. Because you don't want the bikers to see the truth about you. Because you're trying to hide it in the shadows. Well, when you're dealing with me, it's going to be out. You're going to be known in the biker community of what you're doing behind their backs. And they're finally figuring out that you did a lot of stuff in the shadows that you should have not done. And they already seen all those videos of you threatening me with 3 different types of bikers that you keep sending people that you think you're gonna unalive me. All the bikers are well aware of you and your husband, and that man is about to lose his patch. That female is about to lose her spot because of your actions. And you just seen it not too long ago. You're challenging, and you cannot do that. And the reasons why you don't know nothing about me was because of a perfect example. Because you guys keep threatening my life. You guys keep wanting to challenge me. You keep wanting to go after my family. And you keep showing it. You keep showing your butt off. That's not you leaving me alone. And you know what? This is kind of funny. Amanda, why don't you just tell people the truth? You tried to get me unalived recently in April. Tell people the truth, Amanda. that you're trying to get all these different biker clubs, and that's the exact same thing that James Moon tried to pull on me. You're doing the exact same thing. Your brother and you admitted, and James Moon admitted on a TikTok live, how you wanted to get me unalived. I have the right to speak up about you. What you do in private, it's not going to be private no more. It's going to be known. You're not going to get away with nothing in my presence. The bikers are going to know what you're doing, who you're having to threaten me, and your husband is about to lose his patch. Going to be kicked out of his biker club very soon for what you did, because you had an HA to gang up on me. That's a good way for your husband, that female, and each and every person that was in there to lose and get banned from their club. You're going to be known as nothing out here. They're not going to want to have contact with you. They're completely going to ban you and shun you out, where you're nothing, where they're not even going to want to talk to you at all. You're not going to have the connections that you used to have, because you're abusing your authority with me. And you're just mad because I can prove it and I can back it up. Because all you do is want to threaten me and threaten my life. And I know when you were live, that you threatened me that one night. You keep threatening me over TikTok lives, because that's all you're known for. Because you're afraid of going to prison. You're afraid. You know what I mean? So I think it's kind of funny that Amanda wants to cry wolf to people, knowing that you are sending hitmans out on me. You are admitting of wanting me dead and gone. You are planning to homicide me. That's premeditated murder on your end. So, and then you want to be dumb enough to run to the cops, knowing that I can prove it, my family can prove it and back it up, and other chapters can prove it and back it up, that you've been trying to homicide me. You've been premeditating murder on me for a couple of years now. And then you want to be a dummy enough to go to the law, knowing that my family could easily back it up, that of what you're doing. And there for a little bit, you are afraid of going to prison because you are running towards one of my cousins about it. You're afraid of getting caught up because of what you're doing. You're making threats. You keep being power hungry. It's catching up to you at that as well. So I think it's kind of funny that you want to sit here and you want to challenge me on everything and my family. And I know that the Indianapolis chapter knows who I am, and they know my family. So just know this and understand that. You know for what you're doing. You're out of state. You're trying to send people to homicide me. And there's proof to back it up. You're out of state. And you're trying your hardest to mess with me. And knowing that you're at the police station. You're at the police station, Amanda. Why don't you tell the cops the truth of what you've been trying to plan on me? Because I know you're there at the police station right now. Why don't you tell them you're trying to homicide me? And you want to be petty. You want to abuse something that it's actually kind of funny at that too. That you want to sit there and you want to threaten me with a whole bunch of people. Others have seen you threatening me all over the internet. And then you get mad at me for speaking up about it. Then you want to get mad at me for me speaking up because I'm not going to let you unalive me. I'm not going to let you homicide me or my family off no more. James Moon and Amanda was planning premeditated murder to get me homicided, and my family's got the proof and the truth on you. So just know that and understand that. The bikers know that you're at the police station. They're watching you. And they know that you've been coming after me. They know that you've been coming after my family. And the bikers know that you're trying to pull something on me. Knowing that there's a lot of proof against you. And you just made threats at me last night. Then you have a lot of nerve to run to the police station right now as we speak. Knowing you threatened me with a whole bunch of people in a live that I recorded you. And you have a lot of nerve to run to the police. You are not a biker. You're not. The only time you want to go there is because you think that they're going to protect you from what you caused. You try to cause a war between Diablos, Hell's Angels, and Outlaws. And you're afraid of what you did. And the biker clubs knows that you're there. They watched you walk in that police station. And they know that you're trying to pull something. So they're well aware of you going to the police. That means in biker world, you're a snitch. You cannot be trusted. So, like you trying to have people watch me to attack me, they know I'm not even doing anything towards you, but you've sent a sex trafficker my way, a child trafficker my way, you sent a sex offender my way, and you sent a pedophile my way. You've sent up about 3 to me, and you're mad because I could prove it and I could back it up. You're the one who tried to challenge me, and I was testing you in your live. I shared your stuff on purpose to see how you were going to act. And what you did, you turned around and did a complete 360, and then you started threatening me, as I knew you were going to do. That's not you trying to be civil with me. That's not you wanting to talk nothing out. You just want to attack me. Every chance I get on TikTok, anywhere I'm on. That's all you do. So why don't you tell the police the truth, Amanda? That you try to get me homicided on. And you're attacking my family. They have a lot of proof on you, Amanda. And there's a lot of us speaking up. There's a lot of people that knows for what you've done. And it's kind of sad and really pitiful that some of the bikers have said that you're afraid of going to prison, Amanda, because of what you did. They know that you tried to get me unalived recently in April. You put like 2 hits out on me. You are doing the worst towards me. I'm not doing like what you're doing to me. You're doing way worse towards me. You're sending people my way. You tampered with my account. You tampered with my proof and evidence, and you were dumb enough to run to the police. To the police station? You were really that ignorant to run to the police station, knowing that you just tampered with my evidence. That's a felony on you. It's not harassing you. I'm not going to shut my mouth when you are out here physically saying with your own mouth, and I can prove it and I can back it up, that you're trying to send people to unalive me from out of states. I can prove it and I can back it up. So can the other bikers. That behavior last night told me all that I needed to know. So this is the weird kicker, though. What you really up to? Why are you trying to plot on my death? Why are you trying to homicide me? Why are you trying to get me unalived? Why don't you tell the police the truth, Amanda, of what you've been doing to me? Because the bikers know everything of what you're doing. And you cause a war. You try to mess with me. You follow me everywhere I go. You're stalking me on everything I'm on. But I posted it up on purpose to see if you were going to be dumb enough to do what I think you were going to do, and you've done it. So you pretty much hung yourself there on a very bad note. So you think you're slick, you think you know what you're doing, but you're only hurting yourself at this time. You're at a state and you're messing with me. You're doing the worst towards me. And everybody knows that you know James Moon. Everybody's hearing you lying about it. And I can guarantee you, bikers saw you going to the police station. They saw you do it. That means you are a snitch. And that's why you were kicked out of the HA. Because you cause a lot of issues and you're false claiming to be in Hell Angel. And I know you're in that police station right now. I know you are. But why don't you own up to what you do to me? For what you're doing to me is not okay. There's no excuses on your end of how far you would go to do stuff towards me. And then when I call you out on it, you get so highly mad and frustrated at me. Because you're caught, Amanda. That's what it is. So when you're caught committing a crime, you were doing premeditated murder on me. You tried to get me homicided. And that's why you ran to the police station, because you have a very guilty conscience. You're scared and you're nervous for what you're doing. Apparently, you must be scared of something, because I don't really have nothing to worry about, because I'm not stalking you. I don't care for what you do, but you don't talk civil to me. I was testing you last night to see how you were going to act, how you were going to react towards me. And it exactly happened the way that I knew was going to happen. I keep getting more proof on you. All you do is want to threaten me. You want to threaten my life. You want to threaten to unalive me all the time. And people have seen you do it. People has heard you do it. And that's why you're running to the police station, because you're in fear of what you have done. And you're telling people that I done this upon myself. I'm not doing things like you have towards me. I'm not sending people your way. I'm not doing anything like that towards you. But you like to do it towards me. That's the thing, no. So why do I have to sit here and take your abuse? That you want to unalive me in silence? Why should I have to keep my mouth shut when I know for a fact you're trying to get me unalived? Why should I have to shut my mouth on it? I shouldn't have to shut my mouth on nothing. And that's why you ran towards the police station. Because you're scared, you're nervous, and you know for what you're doing, and you're not leaving me alone. And you do sob stories, you cry wolf. So, good question. Why did you go to the police station knowing for what you've done towards me? That you're the one who wants to cry wolf all the time. You like playing people. You like to manipulate people all the time. So, I don't know what to tell you. But it is very comical and very interesting. I know you're at the police station right now. And why don't you tell people the truth, Amanda? Because I promise you, if someone else was in my shoes, they wouldn't stay quiet either. Because it's like, why are you trying to silence me? That you're trying to get me unalived and you're trying to play dumb towards it. Knowing my family's got a lot of backing up on proof on you and against you. But you wanted to push it. You wanted war. So why don't you tell the police that you tried to cause a biker war because you are a Diablo? Why don't you tell the police the truth, Amanda, that you're a biker and you're trying to mess with me? You're trying to mess with Hell's Angels. You are trying to cause a war with Hell's Angels, outlaws, and Diablos. Why don't you tell them the truth, Amanda, for what you did? And by law, bikers and police cannot intervene in biker family conflicts. They cannot intervene. And I think it's kind of funny that you're trying to manipulate the situation by running to the police station. Because you don't know how to leave me alone. And I'm not going to stay quiet while you're out here free roaming, planning on unaliving me. All the time. And there's proof on it. My cousins know that you do. All the time. People has caught you. That you like to threaten me all the time. So why do I have to sit back and let you silently assassinate me? And plan my death? Why should I have to sit here and be quiet? I don't have to. You're out of state and you're messing with me. That can turn into an investigation on you. People ain't dumb for what you're doing. Just know that and understand that. If you stopped trying to send hitmans and hitwomans my way, if you would stop having bikers threatening me, if you would stop stalking my stuff and stop talking about me, and stop trying to challenge things, then I wouldn't be talking about you. But once I find out that you're out here free roaming, trying to unalive me, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to keep my mouth shut on what you're trying to do to me. You're a narcissistic person. And that's exactly how you want it to be. You're trying to abuse me. You're trying to abuse me in a way to silence me. You will never silence me. Because eventually you're going to get found out. You're mad over because of a prophecy that this war is going to stop. That's why you're trying to unalive me. That's all that's really about. Is because it's going to bring peace to the biker community. And you don't want that. You even said it. That you want war. That other one wants war. And everybody caught you saying that. We don't. That's a problem on you. That you're stating that you want war. We don't. They're going to more look at you. And they're gonna see everything of what you've been doing to me. And I record you because all you do is like to threaten me. You like to say things about me to try to get me unalived. And you run to different biker clubs. You better start telling the police the truth, Amanda, of what you really been doing towards me. Because I know where you're at. If you're caught trying to pre-tape murder someone, you could go to prison for a very long time. And if you sent someone from Texas to me as a hitman and they find that out, Amanda, you can even get up to a lot more time in prison. You trying to get me homicided, that's more time on you. That's what you're afraid of. That's why you ran to the police station. Pretty much, you have a lot to worry about. Like, you really have a guilty conscience. Like, something is freaking you out so bad to a point that you like to cause issues, and you said it. You were going to cause stuff with my family. You were going to cause wars, and you tried to get rid of everything I had, proof, evidence, facts on that, of what you've been doing towards me and my family. And you planned to get me. You were planning premeditated murder on me. You were planning on getting me homicided. And I know where you're at, South Carolina. I believe that's the death penalty if you get caught in your state. And you sending a hitman's out on me like that, I believe that is the death penalty in your state. And you're afraid you're gonna get caught. That's what it is. If you're caught trying to send people my way to Indiana and you get caught, that is the death penalty on you in your own state. You're afraid of that. Or you're going to end up in prison for a very long time, is what you're really afraid of at that too. And my family, my cousins, knows the truth of what you're doing. My family has a lot of proof that you like to run your mouth, how you're going to assassinate, terrorism my family off. You like to make terrorism threats towards my family, how you're going to unalive us all. My cousins are speaking up about you too. And you're just hurting yourself. You done this upon yourself. That's actually what I'm thinking of, because somewhere in those states, if someone is caught trying to homicide someone, I believe that is the death penalty to them. Or imprisonment is what you're afraid of because you've been caught. I have nothing to worry about because I don't drive. I'm in Indiana, minding my own business, while you're in South Carolina and you sent someone from Texas to unalive me in April when it's getting close to my birthday. So that's very questionable. That's what you're afraid of. And I believe I would have to look it up to see if that's even accurate or not. But somewhere in South Carolina, if anybody is caught trying to attempt a homicide on anybody, and they're in South Carolina and they're trying to send people to Indiana to unalive me, I believe they can get the death penalty. I'm going to have to look that up real quick. But it makes sense. I mean, you have a very guilty conscience. Carolina. Yes, in South Carolina, a person can receive the death penalty for hiring someone or directing them to commit murder. That's what you're afraid of, Amanda. That's what you're afraid of. That's what you're afraid of. And you got caught. That's what you're afraid of. That can. Anybody in South Carolina who is caught, anybody who is caught like that, they can get the death penalty for going towards someone, hiring someone for a hit You were caught doing it in April with James Moon. You're afraid you're going to get the death penalty. Receive. Yeah, right here. Amanda, that's what you're afraid of. And you did that recently with James Moon. That's what you're afraid of. You're afraid of the death penalty to happen towards you, Amanda. That's why you ran towards the police station. Because you know in your state, you could get the death penalty by trying to send a hit out on me, a homicide murder on me in April. That's what you're afraid of. That's what it is. And I figured that's what it was, but I wasn't for sure, but I looked it up. That's what you're afraid of, Amanda. Because you've been caught. My family has caught you. And so have they. They caught you with James Moon being from Texas. Came to you in South Carolina, and you two met up, and you planned to commit homicide murder on me in April. You were going to send James Moon to Indiana, and he got ran back to Texas. That's what you're afraid of. Right there is what you're afraid of, Amanda. That's why you ran towards the police station. It's right there. And I cannot believe that I knew that without even looking it up. I can't believe I knew that. That's what you're afraid of, Amanda. Is right there. It's in the pudding. Right there. Straight up. And then there's key details on South Carolina death penalties. Aggravating factors behind causing another to commit murder or other factors such as kidnapping. Amanda was a part in with James Moon trying to get me kidnapped. Okay, so there was Kayla Griffin, James Moon. Amanda is behind threatening to get me kidnapped, and two others kidnapped to get us kidnapped, sex trafficked, raped, unalived in Tennessee. That's what you're afraid of too, right there. You're afraid of that right there. Is what puts you in fear. It's capital murder. Because you know that you sent James Moon towards me, knowing that you knew James Moon threatened to get me. You know that he threatened to get me kidnapped, sex trafficked, unalived, and kidnapped to Tennessee. And you ran towards James Moon. And James Moon was here recently in Indiana to try to unalive me. And then he got ran back to Texas. So it's South Carolina and Texas. So Amanda would be you in South Carolina. James Moon would be Texas. You know what? That's pretty pathetic. You would drive all that way to Indiana to try to get me homicided on. Knowing that conviction requirement. A separate sentencing proceeding is required to determine the sentence, which must be either death or life imprisonment. That's what you're afraid of. Amanda, you admitted this to everybody, that you were afraid of going to prison, but you didn't say anything about the death penalty for what you did towards me. And my family's got proof that you tried. Actually, you did. You sent James Moon to unalive me in Indiana. That's what you're afraid of. It's either death penalty or life imprisonment is what you're afraid of, Amanda. That's why you ran towards the police station. Because you knew what I was talking about. You're trying to play dumb on what you did. Uncle Bear was unalived. And you had a part in it, Amanda. Recently in April, then you tried to do it towards me with James Moon. This is what you're afraid of. This is why my cousin told me you're crying and you're scared of going to prison for. Because you know you're caught and the bikers caught you. That you're sending people, knowing you're South Carolina, James Moon is in Texas, I'm in Indiana. You're driving all the way here. And that you're admitting of sending people my way to unalive me. You're welcoming people to come after me. And that is exactly right here. You are hiring them to commit murder on me. And you admitted that. You not realize that? You just admitted that in one of your videos where you told people where my location's at. You're telling people to come to my stuff, and then you sent James Moon to Indiana, knowing he was ran out of town. He was ran out of town. This is what you're afraid of, Amanda. Why you ran towards the police station. Now it's starting to make sense. It's starting to add up. You unalived my Grandpa Storm by cutting the wires on his bike. And then you unalived my mother. You homicided her at the bar. This is why you're running towards the police station, because you know where you live at. You could get the death penalty, or you're going to get life imprisonment. And cousins have already said, you're afraid of going to prison, but the death penalty is what you're scared about. Because of what you did, what you got caught doing. It all adds up. It all makes sense. You just pretty much told on yourself that you're sending people to my location, and it proves it and it shows it. That can give you the death penalty. You're trying to send murderers, sex traffickers, predators my way. You're trying to send hits out on me to get me homicided on. And I've been right of what I've been saying about you. That's what you're afraid of. That's why you ran towards the police for. Tell them the truth, Amanda. Tell them the truth. But I'm going to go and get off of here. Hope you guys have a lovely day.